Alright, this video is going to act like a bookmark for my life. It's going to be something, it's kind of like an intention that I'm setting, but at the same time, it'll be a bookmark because I'll have the ability to look back on it and basically see my growth, see my progress, and that's really what this is all about. Looking at my personal and spiritual goals moving forward, I feel that I'm at a point in my life now where I can pretty much define them, and then with that be able to like move forward, as well as like look back and see the growth and the progress and the evolution. Um, First and foremost being boundaries. Not just like setting boundaries with people in terms of yes, I can do that, or no, I can't do that. But also in like social interactions. I've made at least one video on this in the recent past, talking about how throughout my life it's been very easy for me to absorb other people's energies and emotions, and with that allow myself to get energetically drained and to have my energy swayed in different directions depending on how the other person is doing or feeling, right? I'm just aware of myself now enough to know that, one, I don't want to do that anymore, and two, it's just not productive, you know? Um, the way that I've kind of grown up was like in social settings and interactions, I would just absorb other people's energies, and then like whatever good mood I was in, it would be gone, right? Because um, I didn't have the boundaries set in place, and I didn't really, I didn't know that I could be okay even if other people weren't okay, you know? It kind of sounds a little bit strange, like when I say it, but like, if I were to try to be okay knowing that somebody else is not okay, I would feel guilty or selfish or like ashamed of myself. And so, one of my goals personally and spiritually, when I say spiritually, I really mean energetically. Um, One of my goals is to specifically in those situations. Actually, I'll say it two ways. One, in terms of the social settings, set the boundaries so that I don't take on other people's energies. That's like hugely important to me. And other than that, and I actually did this the other day, um, saying no when I mean fucking no. Like when my intuition is like, Chris, no. Not saying, yeah, I can do that, right? Um, that's one of the most important things for me moving forward in terms of just like the only way that I'm going to feel safe with myself is if I'm saying no when I need to and saying yes when I need to, right? Um, but in terms of boundaries, this is much more a matter of no, right? And by the way, with both of those things, getting really comfortable and feeling safe with disappointing people, because that's something that I have feared throughout my entire life. I have done things I haven't wanted to, and I've kind of like lended or lent things that I didn't want to, simply because I wanted the validation and the approval, right? Um, Other than that, I want to talk about responsibility. Um, Throughout my life, I have taken on a lot of responsibility that I never needed to. And I'll kind of give the example of just like meeting somebody, right? Meeting somebody totally new, right? I've had enough experiences in my life with people to know what it feels like to experience somebody that has permeable boundaries, and they will gladly and easily within seconds and minutes lay out their entire fucking shit show of a life story on to me. And then I have two options. I can invest myself a little bit, or I can just be like, hope everything works out for you, that kind of thing. I'm really not interested in having my focus be pulled in directions that are unnecessary, right? I feel like by the end of this video I'll have a third goal, but those are my two goals so far. Setting the boundary in social interactions, right? Just not taking on other people's energies because I know that I don't need to. And not only that, but also be more firm with my yeses and nos. Mean it when I say yes, and mean it when I say no, and hold the frame for both of those. Oh, yes, there we go. I remembered it. This is actually one of the biggest ones. One of my biggest goals moving forward. Being present to each moment as best that I can. One of the most fascinating things I've learned about myself in a professional setting is not just my capacity to be present, but it's also like being gentle with myself in knowing that throughout my life, in every moment that I've ever criticized myself for not being present, I've actually always done the best that I can with the level of conscious awareness that I am at any given moment, and every given moment throughout my entire past, right? And so I have a deep desire to be ridiculously present in life. One of the biggest reasons is because every time I've not been present, I have felt like I've missed out on something very deep and meaningful in life. And at the same time, all of those times that I've not been present in my life, I've been taken by things that like mentally. Like I've been taken mentally by things in the past, in the future, that kind of just like show themselves to me at some point in my life, but as really unimportant. Like all of the times, at least the majority of the times, that I have like just not been present because I've been stuck in the past, I look at the past and I'm like, all right, I'll learn the regret, I'll learn from that, but other than that, like, what are you doing here? Why is the energy of the past here? What good is it for me, right? And then the future, the other thing, I guess actually this will be this will be 4 goals. So the first one is setting boundaries in social situations as to not take on people's energies, saying yes when I mean it and no when I mean it, being present, ridiculously present to the moment. And the fourth one has a lot to do actually with quantum physics and quantum creation, and of course Dr. Joe Dispenza, the man, the myth, the legend. Making my future more real than my past, right? And so that really means just like focusing. Actually, I have a 5th one, but I'll save that for a second. Making my future more real than my past, meaning I'm actually deeply identified with my past, and that is actually what keeps the past alive and keeps it more real than the future. Disidentifying from the past and consciously creating a new future with all the ideas and visualizations, manifestations, imaginations, creations, all that stuff moving forward into the future. Feeling everything now in this moment as if it's already manifested. Yeah. So I want that. That's super important for me, right? It's a massive goal for myself, and I'll do a lucky number 5 on this one. The 5th and final one, but I would argue to be the first and foremost important one because it is the relationship that I have with myself. Loving the heck out of myself.